they pretty much just welded the lower control arm onto the wheel and onto the frame. So it's been around a year ago since we got the famous Performante. How we found it was actually through Daily Dream Exotics vlog and actually through VINwiki as well. That's how I found out about your channel and about your website and all this good stuff. We obviously rebuilt it and we have a whole series on rebuilding it, but what people don't know, what goes on behind the camera, is we run into problems after problems. So when we saw it on the auction, we knew that whoever is selling the car kind of they call it Mickey Mouse, right? So what that means is, what people do is they would buy a car and they would make it look less damaged and they would post it back on Copart to resell it for more. That's obviously how people make money right now. It's like a new thing. We saw the previous damage on the car, and we saw that how it was being sold on the auction, so we already knew what was going on since we've been dealing with cars for a lot of years. So once we bought it, it obviously threw the price higher when we were bidding on it because people thought it was less damage, people who actually didn't see it on the social media. So it pushed the price up to $135,000. That's how much we purchased it for. If it was being posted on Copart exactly how it was in an accident, I'm pretty sure it would have went under 100, possibly, maybe up to 100. I personally think we still got a good deal. So once we brought the car to our shop, then we kind of started noticing a lot of parts were missing, right? So I started doing my own little investigation to see where the car was, where it came from, right? So I started kind of looking into Copart, looking who sold the car. And I actually found the company who posted it on the Copart, right? So I reached out to them and I tried talking to them about it, and obviously they told me it was going through like third party or fourth party, or they got it from a friend or this or that. You know, nobody really wants to say where they got it. So if you guys don't know, the car belonged originally to Magic Mike, then he sold it and it went to Blue Beauties, and Blue Beauties is the one who got into an accident. And what happened was, when he sold the car, somebody offered to buy the car from him, and they told him, we're gonna rebuild it. So what happened was, he sold it to them, and what they did was just make it look better and post it straight on Copart just to get money out of it. So I'm pretty sure they made a good 30 grand just like that. Fast money, you know. Once I found out the guys who posted it on Copart, I reached out to them and I asked them about the parts. Maybe they had it, right? So they said, maybe let me look, maybe my friend has some parts, this or that. So I started looking through their eBay, and I noticed there was a amplifier that I was missing. It was located under the feet of the passenger side, and that's where the impact was. So what's funny is, on our Lamborghini, the amplifier, it's being held on 4 bolts on each corner, right? So one bolt with a piece of amplifier was still on the Lamborghini, and I saw their amplifier and one corner was ripped out and it was missing. So I was like, this has to be mine, because, you know, amplifiers, I only found 2 for sale online, and one was, I believe, somewhere in way out of state, and the other one was right there in Los Angeles, where the car came from. So I was like, okay, this is kind of, you know, kind of sketchy. I ended up messaging him and I was like, this amplifier seems like it's from this car, and he basically said, let me look into it. And what he replied was, oh, I bought all these parts from a friend, you know what I mean? So I asked him what else he has from the car. So then he started kind of sending me pictures of all the parts that are from the car, right? So he basically offered me a price to buy back, and I obviously bought it back, because even though I got it for a good price, still I mean, I would have paid probably way more if I got it from UK, all the parts. I was going through Scuderia parts, so basically straight from Italy, but I have pretty much a friend in the UK that in Scuderia, so he was helping me out, he was giving me discounts, all this good stuff, so I actually saved a lot of money with that. I ended up buying all the parts back, you know, and once they came to my house, to our shop, I put the amplifier, I put it where it's supposed to be. I got the little corner piece missing, and it's just 100% matched. So I was like, okay, these are 100% my parts. So that's the shop that the car went through. you know, because I think it went through like 2 parties, I believe, after Blue Beauties. When they bought it, they posted an auction, all this good stuff. And also the wheel, they pretty much just welded the lower control arm onto the wheel and onto the frame. So even though it was ripped out, there was chunks of weld on there, so just so the car could kind of be rolling. So also what we noticed is the pop-ups for the accident that go up when the car pretty much flips, because it's a convertible. So all the convertibles have those. So what happened was, instead of either changing them or resetting them, I'm not sure, we changed them because we couldn't reset them, right? So what happened is they actually pushed them down and put screws straight through it into the body of the Performante. So that kind of sucked as well, you know what I mean? So they made Mickey Mouse, I mean, they made 30 grand off of it, you know, but they threw on some of their, I would say, parts on it, small details, like they threw a Lamborghini logo on the front bumper, because we actually met up with Blue Beauties after we bought it, and he saw it. He's like, this is not my car. And I was like, hey, what do you mean it's not your car, you know? And what he said was, because I took off the logo from the front bumper and now it's on here. And so I was like, okay. What sucks is it cost us more than we expected, because it got bumped up on Copart because they made it seem less damage. At the same time, we ended up buying more parts than we expected, because parts were taken off, stolen, or whatever you want to call it. So the car ended up costing us at the end around $208,000, and we ended up selling it actually for $260,000. So everything we invested in it came out really profitable at the end of the day. And we sold it without even posting it for sale, you know, because the car, everybody kind of knows that car. I went through VINwiki, went through Daily Dream Exotics, went Magic Mike, Blue Beauties, you know. All these people have big fan bases, you know, so the car kind of went through everywhere already and ended up with us. So at the end of the day, we made a good profit on it. We learned a lot about the car as well, because a car like that we actually, you know, had no experience with. We rebuilt a lot of cars throughout all the years, you know, but we never had rebuilt like a Lamborghini Performante. We actually work with cars a lot, so we rebuilt cars probably for a good 9 years, you know. So the most expensive car we probably worked on would be like a G-Wagon, would be like a GTR, something like this. So throwing a lot of money into a car like this is a big risk. Not all auctions are legit, and this is something that people don't know, you know. People think this car looks good, I'm gonna buy off the auction, make a ton of money. You know, we had, from personal experience, we buy a car, engine's blown. We buy a car, it's flooded. Mechanical problems. So a lot of people on a daily basis lose a lot of money on the auctions. Obviously, when we buy a car, we do a lot of research, but you're never gonna know everything about it until it comes, and then you either win money, you either get your money back, or possibly lose money, you know. So we took a big risk on this car. We put a lot of money into it, and we ended up making you know, a good profit. You know, not everybody could. You know, some people, for example, if somebody purchased this car on the auction and gave it to another shop to actually rebuild it for them, you know, it's possible that they're going to be on the minus 20 grand on it, you know. But once you do all the work yourself, this is actually what saves you a lot of money. After the car was rebuilt, we obviously drove it for a few weeks. There was no way we were not going to drive that car, you know. We went through a lot of work not to drive that car, you know, and we met a lot of great people like Daily Dream Exotics, VINwiki. And this car is actually what started social media for us, you know. We were not social media at all. I mean, the only thing close enough was we had a company, vinyl wrapping cars, and we have a little Instagram page about it, and that's it. So this is kind of what boosted us and threw us into the social media life.
Dream Car Exchange is our sponsor for the VINwiki channel this month, and we are having a VINwiki Dream Car Exchange car flipping contest. It is live now on their site. We've got 10 cars, 10 players, and 10 charities that the profits go to. So we're gonna find out who the best car flipper of VINwiki is, and you guys are gonna get to own some amazing cars. So head on over to dreamcarexchange.com, register to bid early, bid often, and win your dream car at Dream Car Exchange.